Hello, welcome to this update. Let's just update on a few other things that are happening today with these winter storms in the U.S. and Canada. So first, let's see what's going on here. We have some blizzard conditions possible in the northern plains, some blizzard warnings. Still in northern Alaska, those blizzard warnings there, winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. You still have the system across the west, some winter storm warnings California, southern Oregon, northern Washington there, central Idaho, and the winter weather advisories throughout Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Northern California, Washington, and Oregon. So winter weather advisories from Tennessee to New York, right? Winter storm warnings in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And so winter storm watches near New York and Pennsylvania there. So we'll check that as well. So winter weather advisories in Wisconsin. So let's see these blizzard warnings. So they say they're North North Dakota. Let's see here. So they say blizzard conditions, additional snow accumulations up to 2 inches, winds gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Eddie Nelson, Western Wash, and Griggs County until 6 p.m. this evening. So be careful there. And you have the wind advisory, high wind warning, and everything else here. So be careful. You can also click on other warnings here. There is even red flag warnings in Nevada because of the higher winds. And there's law enforcement warnings in Northern California there. So let's see the following message transmitted at the request of 6 County. Road closure alert. Interstate 5 is closed due to winter weather conditions. Check for updates at quickmap.gov. So yeah, be careful in those areas. There has already been one death, I think in Washington and Oregon, with a tree down, and a bunch of other impacts there. So please stay safe, be careful, and you can click on any other warning here to see the information. There's in Alaska there too. Those blizzard warnings still in northern Alaska. So let's see here. So yeah, that's still North Dakota. So they still say like snow and blowing snow additional so accumulation between 1 and 4 inches, locally higher amounts possible, winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour. So that's in North Dakota, still north central parts, northwest North Dakota. So be careful there. Let's see here in Alaska. So blizzard conditions, total snow for accumulation 2 to 4 inches, winds gusting highs 55 miles per hour, northwest Arctic coast and northern Arctic coast. So until 6 p.m. Alaska time this evening, but we might still have some warnings there tomorrow. So wind advisories in Louisiana and some stuff there. So be careful in those areas. We still have the winter storm warnings in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and some wind warnings in Quebec. And still the warnings in British Columbia for the snowfall, the wind, the rainfall, and special weather advisories there too. So East Vancouver Island, a bunch of warnings, wind, rainfall, the special weather statements. We have some snowfall warnings in some areas. You can click on the warning and see all the information here. And all these locations here, West Vancouver Island, snowfall, wind advisory. Be careful with the wind because it can really be strong and cause damages with trees, infrastructure, and even death if a tree falls on top of you, like happened in the US. And like in the Guay and some other areas, strong winds continue today and Thursday, and more areas. So stay safe. You can click here on all these weather advisories and see what happens. So minor coastal flooding in some areas onshore, and powerful waves can roll logs and heavy debris along beaches. So be careful with that as well. There's Manitoba here, the winter storm warnings, all of those locations. You just find your location here and click on winter storm to see here. Hazardous weather conditions are expected. Significant winter storm continues to bring heavy snow to western Manitoba. In addition to the snow, strong northwestern winds high 70 km per hour are resulting in poor visibility at times and blowing snow. That also means like blizzard conditions in a area too. So be careful. More winter storm warnings in Many locations, most of Manitoba shows snowfall warning. Some areas too. You click on snowfall, heavy snow continues through central Manitoba. So yeah, be careful in those areas. This link is in the description, so please check here for more information. Click on the warning so you stay updated. Newfoundland and Labrador, the Avalon Peninsula North, Terra Nova, St. John's vicinity, Northern Peninsula East, and some other areas, rainfall warning. So you click on rainfall, a long episode of rain, heavy at times, continues, and total rainfall 60 to 80 millimeters until Thursday afternoon. So stay safe in those areas. Northwestern Territories, blizzard warnings, Sats Harbor and Palauk shows blizzard warning there. Blizzard condition, poor visibility in snow and blowing snow expected or occurring. So blowing snow, yeah, later this morning. Winds from the south this morning all the way to 100 km per gust by this afternoon. Strong winds will continue to Wednesday night. So be careful. Western snow combined with strong winds, poor visibility into Thursday. Be careful there. Nunavut, some freezing drizzle advisories, freezing fog and freezing drizzle, not freeze fog, but like just fog and freezing drizzle, and Coral Harbor, Arviat in some areas, but by the time you watch this video, these warnings might be different because some warnings are short-lived, so check the links here for the latest warnings. So let's see, areas of freezing drizzle are expected or occurring, so freezing drizzle expected to periodically continue throughout the day on Wednesday, so stay safe there. There's Nunavut, there's more in Ontario, some fog advisories. Fog advisories are usually only during the morning, but be aware, parts of Ontario, Quebec, wind warnings, northeastern Quebec, western, that's more like western Quebec on Hudson Bay. So, when high winds all the way to 100 km per gusts, and Saskatchewan, snowfall warnings there still. So, be aware, heavy snow continue early this morning. A long period of snowfall, to amounts 15 to 20 centimeters expected. So be aware in Saskatchewan as well. So be careful there. Some max wind gusts from the National Weather Service that they do have here, like in South Dakota, some areas close to 65 mile per gust, and even close to 70 in a spot or two there, so be careful. Even North Dakota shows more there across the Sierra Nevadas, even 75 to 80 mile per gust, the highest of peaks. Western Nevada, some parts of Northern California, and Oregon there. So be careful. And the 48-hour snowfall from a combination of models here, from them they do have in the next 48 hours close to 60 inches of snow still, some peaks of Northern California, a lot in Idaho, parts of Washington and Oregon, especially northern Washington, central Oregon, like eastern Oregon, northwestern Montana, and Northern California there, so be careful. Still some snow in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, all the way to northern Iowa. So like 1 to 5 inches or even more. Show snow in Michigan already, close to 5-6 inches more in Wisconsin, Indiana, and Ohio, parts of Illinois, even Chicago shows us a snowfall or two, and shows more like in Pennsylvania, some more there, close to even 10 to 12 inches, more like 10, 11 inches, 9 inches, more in West Virginia in the next 48 hours, close to 9, 10 inches, and even the mountains, the Appalachians in Tennessee and North Carolina there, and Virginia, so be careful in those areas. So yeah, the snow, be aware. So here there's like, they showed that mixed precipitation today, parts of the Great Lakes, those areas, and the heavy snow possible in North Dakota, South Dakota, and the snow generally all the way into Illinois. More snow there, Northern California, the heavier snow, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, some snow in Montana, and northwestern Washington there, and the heavy rain in California. They choose still some heavy rain and flooding parts of California and southern Washington, southern Oregon, a freezing rain or two in parts of Oregon there, central to eastern Oregon, still some heavy snow possible parts of Northern California, central Idaho and Oregon, some mixed precipitation Washington to Wyoming, and some snow still in Montana there. So yeah, in Ohio and those areas, more mixed precipitation. This can include snow or wet snow. Shows West Virginia, still some heavier snow possible. Pennsylvania, southern New York, Not much in New York City, but more like southern New York State. So be aware. Day 3, still some heavy rain, possible flash flood in California, some heavy snow possible in the Sierra Nevada still. It does highlight here some areas of freezing rain possible across northern Montana, southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, and some more snow there. Freezing rain through northern Washington and Idaho. It shows still some mixed precipitation across the northwest. Some snow in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York still. Mixed precipitation there. So be aware. Excessive rainfalls is the moderate today, northern California, and the light. So please be careful with flooding there, river flooding, and urban flooding with the heavy rain and flash flooding. So please stay safe. And marginal risk all the way to Oregon. Day 2 is still the high risk there for Thursday. So please stay safe. There's a moderate and a high risk of flash flooding. So this is a very dangerous situation with that heavy rainfall and the flash flooding, the saturated ground and everything. So please stay safe there. So let's see if they say something important here. Let's refresh this. So they still have these key messages, not sure if it's updated. So life-threatening flood in Northern California, prolonged heavy rain from atmosphere river resulting total rainfall 12 to 16 inches over far northern California, far southwestern Oregon to Friday. The atmosphere river and heavy rainfall intensity peaks on Thursday. Dangerous flash flooding, rock slides, and debris flows are likely. So please stay safe there. And Eureka is included in the northern part of that high risk. So please stay safe there. And some high gusts as well, and the heavier snowfall. So stay safe. And this is Thursday tomorrow. The moderate and the slight risk around it. So please be careful. Day 3 is still a moderate there. Some areas in northern California, just off the mountains there. So be careful. Some debris flows, more potential flash flooding and stuff. And a slight risk near the coast and a marginal. So stay safe. Day 4, just a marginal near the Sierra Nevada. And day 5, nothing. So yeah, be careful there. And what happened here? So with snowfall probabilities does show some high probabilities in California there, Northern California, South Central Oregon, and Idaho. It shows more in Washington and Idaho there, Northwest Montana, parts of British Columbia, some heavier snow. But it's not showing much there, North Dakota and those areas, but there's snow there for sure. But this map is not showing much. Thursday shows more West Virginia, Pennsylvania, parts of New York, and some parts of Idaho and some other areas to the northwest. Day 3 shows more the Sierra Nevada, Central Sierra Nevada, be aware there, and again parts of northwestern Montana and Idaho to British Columbia, some more snow. It shows more snow like West Virginia and southern Pennsylvania, might be heavier West Virginia, shows more in eastern Quebec a little bit. So be aware, shows more probabilities of snow across the west on day 4 and the north, shows more across the northeast. Day 5, some the Rockies, Central Rockies there. Day 6, Monday on Thanksgiving, shows more across the Sierra Nevada, some probabilities in the Rockies. And next Tuesday, some probabilities scattered around. So be aware. There are the freezing rain probabilities. It says no area, but they do have some minor probabilities in California, those areas there. But Thursday does show still some probabilities around Oregon and Idaho, because right between that rain and that snow, there can be a small period of freezing rain or two, so be aware. And shows in eastern Quebec a spot or two on Thursday, and Friday shows more California and Oregon, a thing or two in the northeast, but later on Friday, kind of that still. Even later shows some more probabilities Montana, northern Idaho, and Washington, and yeah, still some probabilities across the east there. So be aware. Shows Saturday some high probabilities in Montana or some freezing rain possible. So be aware there, especially northern Montana and parts of Washington, Idaho, southern British Columbia, some more probabilities. And Saturday is really kicking up this later Saturday, northern Montana, southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, so be aware some freezing rain probabilities, and Idaho a finger two, northern Washington. So we'll keep monitoring this, but this might change still. So yeah, and let's see here. There's something else. So severe weather's just some general storms across the east, western Florida, and some areas. BR some thunderstorms, the northwest. Finger two in Washington tomorrow and the northeast. And day three, nothing. So yeah, be aware. And an elevated fire threat still in Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, parts of Wyoming and South Dakota. So be aware, some gusty winds there and stuff. So yeah, and shows here the precipitation type, that snow there. The European models is showing freezing rain in northern Manitoba and some areas of the Hudson Bay. So that might be happening or might not, because they had some freezing drizzle advisories in Nunavut, but they didn't have any warnings for like freezing rain there. Because sometimes the models show something, but it doesn't really happen that way. But be aware, it shows more snow, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, even that freezing rain in eastern Quebec they mentioned. The European has the snow like West Virginia, Thursday to Friday. The wet snow, some snow in Ohio, in Indiana. Goes there, still some heavy snow across the west and some freezing rain there. This goes, shows more snow and freezing rain still in eastern Quebec possible. It shows Saturday northern Montana and a snowfall too there, and that freezing rain Saturday. It shows more a field of snow all the way from Minnesota to northern British Columbia. More snow there across the northern Rockies as well. This goes and showing more freezing rain and mixed snow and everything on like Quebec and Labrador later on Sunday. So yeah, this goes shows more snow, some freezing rain Alaska Monday from like Sunday. There's already some snow there, but shows like Saturday some snow comes in more Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, BR. Maybe we have more stuff later. The European shows another like rain event for California on the 29th, and some more snow, freezing rain across the west there. So be aware those areas. So here does show like let's see some like temperature stuff, but regions bear put North America. So there those below average temperatures there, and across the west very below average across western Canada. Then this goes the below average goes towards the Atlantic, but does show like still some much below average like November 29th. And you see these joints with the air from the Arctic there, that's very cold. There's this corridor there, so more cold air coming down later next week. So yeah, BR. This goes in the Europe. The GFS is very insane. December 3rd with those below average temperatures like southwestern Canada, northwestern US. It's really kicking those temperatures down. The European around that time frame shows the 26th, the 2nd. The European barely has anything on the 3rd there. It has the cold air already down central US. So yeah, we'll keep monitoring there, but be aware. And the temperature is still very cold in those areas. Shows some parts of like northwestern territories and Nunavut, some minus 28 degrees, my minus 27, my minus 18. Shows especially in Yukon there, and comes all the way down. But that's Saturday. Let's see Wednesday. It's similar. Shows the negative temperatures most of Saskatchewan and Alberta, and some in Manitoba there, especially western northern Manitoba, northern British Columbia, some minus 28, minus 30, in like Yukon, northwestern territory, so very cold there. Nunavut, so minus 13, minus 16, very cold. In southern Quebec and Ontario are a little bit less cold, still coldish, but yeah. And then this goes there, shows still pretty cold across the west. Some days a little bit warmer, like 9 degrees in Vancouver. But this goes and this cold gradually comes down towards Ontario. Some negative temperatures Friday into Saturday, and to Sunday more in Quebec and Labrador. This goes and yeah, shows some some colder temperatures all the way to like southern Ontario, some -1 the next Tuesday, most of Quebec, and some areas of the north like -27, -29 degrees. Very cold across those other areas there, so be careful. This is next Tuesday, shows some -23, Manitoba, many areas there. Show some 2 degrees in Vancouver, some areas of the mountains next week, so be aware of those colder temperatures. And we do have still some 20s Fahrenheit, northern US, some 30s and 20s, even during the day. Today, some 70s and 80s in Florida, but yeah, very cold across the mountains of the west there, some areas. So tonight to tomorrow, some 9, 8, even 7 Fahrenheit in North Dakota and Montana, some close to like 7 Fahrenheit as well, southern Colorado and the Rockies, some 30s in the Appalachians, 40s in Texas, and yeah, cold in the Sierra Nevada, the Cascades in those areas there, so be aware. Some 30s in parts of the Midwest, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, some other areas too, and like in Michigan and Wisconsin, those areas. So tomorrow during the day on Thursday shows some 20 still in the north, so very cold there still, and some 60s, 70s across the south, even today it choose southern Arizona, but some 4 is in the north, and yeah, and shows still some 8 to 6 Fahrenheit North Dakota on Friday morning, and some like 30 is across the Midwest, Northeast, and all the way to North Carolina, some 4 is in Florida, all the way to Central Florida. In Texas, shows some 20s, 30s there, 8 and 17 Fahrenheit parts of Arizona, and colder across the mountains of the northwest there. So be careful, shows some 20s as well. Northern Montana during the day on Fridays, some 30s, 20s, and some 70s in the south still. So be aware. For Saturday, still some less than 10, 11 Fahrenheit in North Dakota. Saturday morning, some 30s all the way down to like Alabama, some low mid 30s, and be aware some 20s in Iowa, Missouri, parts of Wisconsin, some 30s in the northeast, and very cold in the northern plains and the Rockies. It shows there on Saturday afternoon, warmer there. In the south, some 20s in the north still, cold in the Rockies there, in the Cascades in those areas, some 40s in the northeast. Day 4, Sunday morning, really shows those temperatures coming down in Montana. And still North Dakota was like some 10 to 6 Fahrenheit in northern Montana. Very cold across the Rockies, some 20s, 30s, and teens in some areas there. And still those 30s across the east. 4 is all the way into Florida, and some 30s in the northeast. So be aware those areas. So still on Sunday afternoon, some 18, 22, 15 Fahrenheit in the north. So very cold there. It's cold in the mountains as well. And some 8 is in southern Texas already. Once again, in other areas. Monday morning does show those temperatures really coming down because of that corridor of colder air there. So shows all the way to 1 degree in northern Montana, 3 Fahrenheit, 1 Fahrenheit. Those very light dark purples might be all the way to -2 Fahrenheit or something. Some 7, 26, 32 Fahrenheit, so like some 30s the northeast as well. So yeah, BR, let's just see a little bit closer here, closer up. So that shows some -2, 1 Fahrenheit, 3, 5, 8 Fahrenheit. So be aware there, the northwest around next Monday. So next Monday afternoon still shows some 19, 17, 22 Fahrenheit. So some below freezing temperatures even during the day. Some like 8 is in southern Texas, still some 70s and other areas, and still cold in the Rockies and Cascades. It shows Tuesday morning still some 0, -1 Fahrenheit, 3, 6, 14, 8 Fahrenheit. So very cold there. Some 20s in the northeast already, the Great Lakes, and yeah, be aware in those areas. It's still cold on day 7, Tuesday, across the north there. So be careful in those areas. Now the wind gusts still those stronger winds there from the bomb cyclone, northern Washington and British Columbia, especially there in Vancouver Island, some 100 km per gust in other areas there. So be aware, this goes shows British Columbia some 76 km per gust, southern Alaska close to 50 mile per gust, and in other areas, and still shows like this is the European model, shows Northern California, those higher gusts still, some mountains there, some areas along the coast as well, so be careful, and shows the plains, those high gusts there, all the way from North Dakota to Illinois, shows some higher gusts along the Great Lakes, all the way into North Carolina, the mountains, so be aware that the mountains 40 to 50 mile per gusts, and yeah, so be careful. This is Thursday. This goes shows a second system approaching California Friday with 60 mile per gusts. Some spots to 64 mile per gust. More there, Northern California, southwestern Washington. That's Oregon actually. So southwestern Oregon shows more there across southern Oregon. This goes the Europeans a strong system once again to northwestern western Washington, some 662 mile per gust there. So and then the European shows this going head first to British Columbia, so 90 km per gust, close to like 93 or even more. Somewhere southern British Columbia, Vancouver close to 53 to 60 km per gust. This goes and kind of dissipates, might leave some higher gusts west in British Columbia and some areas Sunday. So yeah, be aware of those areas, and shows there those like Thursday the European does have some higher gusts across like uh, Maryland, Delaware close to 40 to 50 mile per gust in the Appalachians, so be aware Thursday this goes there, and also Newfoundland and Labrador shows some 49, like close to 80 km per gust, 70 and 80, and some bumpier seas there along the North Atlantic in those areas, so still shows some higher gusts in the seas near eastern Quebec on Saturday. This goes there, and the European model really brings a big system towards Newfoundland and Labrador, some 107 km per gust on Saturday. Shows more there, most of Newfoundland, Saint Pierre, Miquelon, Vent, that's wind in French. So yeah, be aware there, shows more northwestern Newfoundland, and then this goes there. Might even gusty in the two near Labrador or eastern Quebec, but yeah, and it shows some slightly gusty winds New Hampshire, Maine, and some areas there on Sunday, and the Rockies, especially New Mexico and Colorado, close to 40 mile per gusts. This goes there. They're getting pretty crazy there in Europe next weekend, and shows this is Sunday, and maybe later on Sunday some gusty winds in Maine. This goes there. Maybe a small thing in the Great Lakes on Monday, but yeah, be aware in those areas. Stay safe with the winter weather, blizzard, low visibilities and high winds and everything, and stay safe. Let's just see if the GFS shows anything else crazy. Shows that snow in the northeast there. Shows this goes, the system might go towards Atlantic Canada, like this weekend, some more rain, no Nova Scotia, those areas. Shows like next week, some snow central Canada, some light snow, and again a system like on November 26th, the northeast and eastern Canada. And the GFS is bringing some snowstorms and freezing rain towards the Appalachians and Central Plains later, and some more stuff in the Northwest December 1st. The GFS like a crazy mind-blowing ice and snow system on December 5th, but I doubt that will happen. That's still too far out, and the GFS is too crazy. But let's see if the Europeans think something about this system. So there's the snow in the northeast, the boom cycle in the northwest. This goes shows there another snow system the 28th across the west. This goes the European is bringing more snowstorms to the Midwest and parts of the plains into the northeast into early December there. So we'll also monitor this, but be aware in those areas. Let's just see if not for forgetting anything. Let's maybe check northern Alaska in some Arctic areas because of that those blizzard warnings. So there are those very strong gusts, close to 70 mile per hour gusts northern Alaska there, because that system from Russia. This goes affect some heavily some Arctic areas of Nunavut. I doubt few people live there, but if you are exploring there, be careful. This is Thursday. This goes more strong winds in the Arctic into Greenland later, and yeah, be careful in those areas. Uh, until next Monday, the European model does have the snow accumulation there, has more Pennsylvania, West Virginia, some areas there, and shows more like eastern Quebec, some snow, Newfoundland, some and Labrador more shows in Ontario, and more like southern Saskatchewan, central Saskatchewan, more Manitoba, showing more North Dakota into Minnesota. The European shows like a lot there, close to 50 inches or something throughout these 5 days. Central California, the Sierra Nevada, Northern California, and Oregon has more snow throughout Alberta, British Columbia, and some in Yukon there, and that's snow in Alaska, Central Alaska, Western Alaska there, and some more Arctic areas there. So Western Greenland and some areas. So be aware of that snow and everything. The GFS also in the northeast. The GFS is more in the northeast, more in Maine, and all the way down to North Carolina. Is a lot across Montana and Idaho, parts of the west there. So be aware in those areas. And yeah, this mainly it. Let's see, show some 13, some 18 inches. The GFS in some areas. So stay safe.